Welcome to Raw Talk. As always, a link down below in the description to credit WWE for piecing this together. Dirty Dominic Mysterio opened up the show, brought out Rhea Ripley, so it went from like really loud boos to really loud cheers, right? She will face Becky Lynch at Mania, which I got to admit, I really hope that Rhea retains. Like, I love Becky Lynch a lot. She's won the title a couple of times, but Rhea's just like, to me right now, on a different level. And I just really hope that she can have a very, very long reign compared to the likes of Roman Reigns. She's fighting all the time. She's like literally around all the time. It's just crazy how good she is. And basically, she spoke about how she wants to keep her title, and then Becky Lynch, of course, was saying things like, congratulations and all that, but I need this. I'm the backbone of this company. And I'm like, girl, you don't think Rhea has been doing the same thing? Right? Like, I don't know. Nia Jax then came out, laid out Becky from behind as Rhea Ripley was leaving the ring. She went for the splash, but a yelling Adam Pearce, which is me, by the way, with the glasses. It's the whole Clark Kent thing. I'm Adam Pearce. Just thought I'd let you know. Backstage, Nia Jax says that Liv Morgan later that night will receive 10 times the beating she gave Becky, which we could see right there, a la Hulk Hogan, the big leg drop. Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura was a great, great match. Sami wins with both a haluva kick at the back of the noggin and in the face. I almost took myself out there. It was just a very solid match. This is like the staple default blueprint of what a match should look like. Vignette promo, The New Day and Imperium, to how they got to tonight's match, in which it's going to be a street fight, because their last match was a true banger. Chelsea Green. No, I can't do the voice. Don't snip that out and then start posting it on Twitter. Unless it's tied to my YouTube channel, so I can go viral, make a couple of bucks, and maybe buy myself a replica championship belt. So this was terrible. Chelsea Green versus Raquel Rodriguez. Stupid match simply because it was a squash match. Chelsea did this much offense. None. She was a tag champ. What happened? Just so dumb. I wanted to see some Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura like back and forth. It didn't happen. Instead, Raquel just told her. And Raquel, by the way, in case you were curious, didn't wear any makeup. That was all natural beauty right there, because she's fighting some issue with her skin, and she posted some pictures, and it was pretty dramatic. I've had some serious skin issues when I was growing up. Different than hers, but sort of, kind of, not really in that realm. Like, it was really like, whoa, what happened there to that guy? Kind of thing. Yeah, so she shared that with the world. Thought I'd share that with you. So maybe to kind of help with her skin breathe, maybe. I don't know. I'm just taking a guess. I don't wear makeup. I'm not Adam Lambert. Maybe that's why she went with the natural look to help with her skin. Moving on from that, backstage, there was an interview with Sami talking about how he was happy that he won. Helps with your reassurance. Imperium walk by him and basically say nothing. Gunther give him a little chuckle, and then they keep walking. Backstage, Cody says that he awaits The Rock's response this coming Friday on SmackDown for his challenge. Imperium in the ring. Gunther talks about Jay and how Jay did really, really well, and how Gunther a couple of times felt more than ever in his 600 plus days that he could have been slipping away from his own championship. Really was pumping up Jey Uso and actually didn't bring him down. He didn't pull the Paul Heyman. And then Judgment Day got in. And this, again, was very interesting because I've said this before. I'm rehashing some of my own lines, but they're so good. They're so good. I love when you have two factions that come together, the bad guys, both bad guys getting on each other's case, or the good guys. These are two heel factions, but they're treating each other like they're not on the same team. And I like that because to me, that's a newer developmental thing, newer creative thing, whatever. In somewhat recent history, it seems to be happening more often. Damien basically got in Gunther's face and said, you know what, at Mania, we want to add more gold. And then Dom gets in there. I don't know what he said. It's all I heard because the booze and all that. But in all seriousness, I don't know exactly who is going to be facing Gunther, but with all due respect, and I really do like Dominic Mysterio, but from a scripting perspective, it's just not realistic. That's not the guy that's taking out Gunther. It's not. It's not. Finn Balor, I could absolutely believe it. Damian Priest as well. But I don't know. Definitely not JD, with all due respect. It's not happening that way. So yeah, it's still not clear, but backstage Judgment Day ran into Rhea Ripley quickly, and then she looked at Dom and said, Gunther? Really? As in, like, you're really thinking of facing him, or really as in you actually went out there and poked the hornet's nest? I'm not too sure. But then Dom quickly ran into Andrade backstage and said, welcome, maybe I'll see you around, whatever. And yeah, so that was that. Now, New Day versus Imperium. That's me there until I wake up in the morning. Imperium defeated the New Day in the street fight. Again, I'm going to say it because I think it's important to mention, even though, again, I'm repeating myself. What made this so amazing, the street fight, is anything goes. It allows more creativity, right? A more dynamic, organic match. There's no Gunther. There's no distractions. Gunther could have come out, laid waste to the New Day. It's a no DQ match. But he didn't do it. Because Imperium are that good. Well, they're all good. Again, this is scripted. I'm just saying it strengthens their credibility. Really. So that was probably the number one thing, again, that I appreciated. Just like when Gunther defends the title or when he wrestles, how often do you see Imperium getting mixed into things? Oh, sometimes after the match, sure, but not during the match. I can't stress enough how much I appreciate that. Once in a while, fine, because it's a heel move. But sometimes not doing that, like I said, to me, it makes the characters more believable. It really, that they're capable of fighting on their own, I mean. Again, I'm always going to go back to the epitome of what I'm talking about, and that was back in the day. I know I've said this again. Seth Rollins, back in the day with J&J Security. What a coward that guy was. Oh my God, now he's like the noble champion that will face every challenge. And I like that, whether you're a face or a heel again. Okay, moving on away from that. Backstage, Adam Pearce chats with Gable, and Gable says that because of Gunther's antics and making his daughter cry, it's more than just a championship. He needs this more than anybody. So again, it's not confirmed 100%. What I think is going to happen if I were to make a call, this might be predictable. They might do like a 6-pack challenge for the right to face Gunther at Mania. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just saying. Because everybody wants to stake their claim. I think Kevin Owens. No, hold on. Not Kevin Owens. Because, he's on SmackDown, right? I watch so much wrestling, I'm not going to lie. I'm just being candid right now. I sometimes forget who's on what show. I'm just being real. Anyways, there's some good contenders that could go and face off against Gunther. You could throw R-Truth in there. You could throw The Miz in there. You could throw Gable in there and a couple of others that I just can't think of off the top of my head because I'm not sure on what brand they're on. You'd think I'd know because I watched the show. But no, I'm not sure. And I could cheat and look at the top to see the competitors that were in the match, but I'm not going to do that right now. Maybe at the end I will. So yeah, so then Shayna and Zoe versus Candice and Indy. They won in a dominating fashion. Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler, that is. I've got nothing against Indy and Candice LeRae. I think they're pretty good. Again, that believable factor. I'm not saying they're not capable, but for me, it's much more believable that Zoe and Shayna would win. And they did win. And I think it's touted. Is that the word, touted? Because I'm not English. They're going to face the Kabuki Warriors maybe at some point for the tag titles. I would love to see that. That, I think, would be an absolute great match. They didn't show it. This is why I'm going to talk about it. But backstage, R-Truth run into DX with The Miz. R-Truth was reminiscing through the old times, looking at his Judgment Day shirt, which I don't think he's going to be wearing much more moving forward. And basically, all of them talk about seeking revenge on the Judgment Day. How, I don't know. Maybe some kind of match, whatever. But yeah. Then Drew comes out saying he blew out his eardrum. But you know what? He's not a quitter like CM Punk. He's still going to Mania. I don't know if that's true, but I think it actually could be. Takes a few more jabs at Punk. Sits in the ring like Punk likes to do. Calls out the champ, Seth Rollins. They actually had a good, quick promo. There's no cheap shots or nothing. And I really, really enjoyed it. Basically, Drew was telling Seth Rollins, you know what? Getting involved with the bloodline could put you in jeopardy. Drew wants Seth at his 100% and all that kind of stuff. And that seemed, again, very just noble, right? Like he's actually looking out for him. He's talking about what happens on SmackDown should stay on SmackDown. They're their own brand. Piss on them. Literally, actually, he said he wouldn't piss on them to put the fire out. That's an Eminem line as well. But whatever. And Seth agreed with him. This was actually like a really good... I mean, they're usually always good. Drew, like I said, in recent years has just... Oh, wow. He's become a monster in every aspect. It doesn't matter if he's just talking on the mic, actually in the ring. The guy is just amazing. And they face each other again at Mania, and I'm not going to lie. I will be 100% okay, regardless of who ends up winning. And I really liked the end piece that Seth said, which I wish more superstars said. And I would say this if I was a superstar. I mean, I'm a superstar in my own mind. I'm my only fan. Anyways, may the best man win. Literally. This whole, like, come this Sunday, mark my words, I'm walking in the champ, and I'm walking out the champ. It's a blah, blah, okay? No, that's not how it works. I mean, you could play the game and be confident in yourself, but it's like, you know what? Let's just have a hell of a match, blow the roof off the place, as that expression goes, and let's just see who's the better man on that night. Because on that night can be different than what happens the next night, so on and so forth. So I appreciate that when that happens the odd time, because oftentimes Seth Rollins won't say that. Or anybody else. They'll just be like, rest assured, Drew, I'm walking out the champ. There's not a goddamn thing you can do about it. That's bullshit. There is absolutely something that anybody can do. Like Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan was actually a pretty good match. I enjoyed this. But good back and forth, but Becky ruined it. Becky coming out looking like Avril Lavigne. I like the look, but she ruined the match. I wanted a definitive winner, but we didn't get that. Backstage interview with Grayson Waller and Austin, which was a very weird thing. I'm going to try not to always stare at my notes here. I'm going to look at you, my audience. To the millions! Well, that's not true. That's never going to happen, the millions. Yeah, okay. I'm not Brandon does everything. I'm Phil does nothing, apparently. It was just bizarre because if you recall in Perth, Australia... I shouldn't have done that impression of an accent. It was just so messed up. Austin Theory got stomped. He got walloped. And Grayson Waller was just like, well. But then he says that he did everything in his power to prevent that. And even Austin Theory was like, no, you didn't. And then Grayson Waller talks about how they disrespected him and his boy Austin. But Austin also disrespected Waller, calling everybody in his home country a bunch of idiots. When even Waller came out and said, I love my country. Then he ripped the microphone from him. And then he just the whole thing between them. I like them as a duo. I really do. I think they mesh well together. But what happened in Perth shouldn't have happened. He should have defended him. And if he didn't defend him, which he didn't, then this week it should have been about Austin. Like, yo, man, so much for having my back. You just stood there like a statue doing your stupid little move. Like, they could have totally played on that. That could have been a swap potentially for Austin to become I don't know. I'm just talking out of my ass, but I don't like that whole thing at all. I'm not liking it at all whatsoever. I just don't. Becky chats with Adam Pearce, basically says that Becky will face Nia next week because she attacked her, right? Ruined the match with Liv, and it's like, fine, you'll get your match. And then Liv showed up, walking by through the backstage. Was basically pissed off, and rightfully so. It's like, Becky, not everything's about you. Thanks for basically ruining my match. Backstage interview again with Jay Yeti Uso. Drew shows up. Back and forth melee ensued. It was nice. But it got broken up faster than the speed of light. And it's like they're on standby just waiting for people to pounce on each other backstage. But when they're in the middle of the ring and you've got Cody Rhodes or anybody else that's surrounded, nobody shows up. It makes no sense. This is just a one-on-one with punches. Meanwhile, you got like a bunch of people that came out after Cody. And Cody Rhodes versus Grayson Waller in the main event. It was a great match. Waller is actually really good. He's very capable. And that's that. That was just a good match. But post-match, Heyman and a few men in black in suits came out. Don't know who they were. Well, supposedly they were former NYPD officers that had been fired. They tried to intimidate Cody and saying, you know what, you should revoke your challenge to The Rock. It's like, what, The Rock can't come out and say, I don't need your challenge or whatever. I just accept your challenge. Or The Rock can just deny it. You don't need Cody to withdraw from the challenge. I don't know. I didn't really get that. And all men entered the ring. In this time, easily, I was hoping Seth Rollins was going to come out because they have each other's back. But that didn't happen. But Cody was able to take out all three men. Yeah, and I really wish Seth would have come out. I don't know. To me, it would have... Because remember what he said. Seth is like, look, you're not in this alone. I got your back. Well, it would have been nice now. They could have had Solo, The Rock come out. They could have really blown the roof off the place. They could have really made a huge finale. Then hell, even Drew could have come out. Even Drew and Seth could have come out. Because now Seth is getting attacked by the Bloodline, The Rock, and all this, right? Cody's in there. He's laid out for a bit, but then he gets up. And then you have Drew coming to help, right? And then he picks Seth up at the end, and Cody gives him that Scottish psychopath look and says, I want you at your 100%. That's not really how he sounds. I don't know what that was. That sounded like a mixture of like Indian and Scottish blended. That didn't work out well. But you get the idea. And he could have just been like, sort of like a show of mutual respect. Because the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's my thoughts, and I'm sticking to it. So there you go. I always have all these wacky ideas, and I'm not saying any of them are ever any good. But those are my criticism. Like I said, I'm not dunking on the show. I'm just going, missed opportunity. They could have done this. They could have done that. It's easy for me to say, maybe they couldn't have done that. But I really wish, at the very least, that Seth could have come out. Because he's really touting the whole, I got your back, Cody. Didn't have him there. Nobody did. Where's all the refs that were out breaking up Drew and Yeti Uso, right? Where were they? Well, maybe they're still too busy with them backstage for them to have been able to come out. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking into this too much, but the shit is my life. Okay? So there you have it. As always, a thumbs up if you liked the video. I mean, it does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm, so they say. If you didn't like the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs down. I'll bend it in half, twist it, and then we'll kick it off in your ass like that. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, naturally, that would be fantastic now, wouldn't it? But if not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care, and maybe, if I'm lucky, I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.